Hello, it's Blind Fortnite with another video. And actually this video should have been up yesterday, but due to unforeseen... Yeah, I can talk. Due to unforeseen circumstances, I was not able to make any videos yesterday. Because I was going for the weekend. And then this video today is apparently not going to be what I was intending to make. And I want to apologize for that. Because sometimes I see things and I have to comment on them, and that's what this is going to be today. It's not, it's not specifically Fortnite related, but since there are kids that play Fortnite, so I'm gonna go with it. And like I said, and this is not gonna happen all the time, but there are instances where I see something or I encounter something where I have to make a video on it. And like I said, it may not even be Fortnite related, but. So what started off this video? Well, earlier today I was watching, actually I just got done, I was watching some reaction videos to Janie's Got a Gun by Aerosmith. That is a song way back from my day. I don't know when it came out. To be honest, I'm too lazy to look it up, but I would suggest watching that video. Janie's Got a Gun, because it deals with child abuse. And I don't know why I felt compelled to make this video, but child abuse is never a good thing. Never. And I'm gonna share this right now. I had encountered some child abuse in my life, obviously when I was a child, and I know there's one main incident. Which it's so traumatic that I've apparently repressed all memories of it. So there's times where, I sometimes question whether there's more that happened in my childhood that remains hidden from me. I'm not gonna... But like I said, this was the one incident that, well, I don't know about, my mom told me, but the one incident that I know about, that my mom told me, apparently was so traumatic that basically, I repressed all memories of it, and apparently, when people would, like, I don't know for how long after this incident, but people would come up to me and talk to me, and I'd, basically put my fist in front of my face, and I wouldn't communicate with people at all. And apparently, according to this, according to my mom's words, people thought I was retarded. And the one thing I hate is people are like, well, you need to get over it. That's what I mean. Or, you don't need to dwell on it. Well, you need to get over it. Well, it's something that I repress long memories of, but I'm trying to get this topic away from me, but there is a lot of forms of child abuse out there. Unfortunately. There is, there's so many incidents, I'm not sure which word I'm going for here, but there's so many cases of where children are being abused. And, the system won't do anything, or the system's, a little too late, and then the kids end up dead. And the two main two main cases, I don't really know how to talk. The two main cases that I can think of is the Hart family. And that's the case of, and this is not a attack on anybody, lesbian, gay, or whatever. That's not what this is. But the Hart family was the two lesbian women who had 6 adopted children. They were like abused, and basically, the two parents had driven their van off a cliff or whatever and into the water, and everybody pretty much drowned. And this, they kept fleeing from DHS or whatever it's called, because every time they get reported, they'd move to a different thing. And then the other incident, the other case that I can think of is, I don't remember what the guy's first name is, but her name was Susan Powell. She ended up disappearing, and, it's widely believed that she's murdered by her husband. And then, apparently, so the guy had supervised visitation rights with his 2 kids, and he took his kids inside his house, and he locked the supervised caseworker out, and then I'm not going to go into details. I don't know how much I can share on here, but you can look it up. But basically, the guy murdered his 2 young sons beforehand, and then blew up the house, killing himself along with it. So there are a lot of different ways child abuse can happen. I'm sorry for such a dreary subject. Like I said, I had a completely different video planned for today. And like I said, there's times where I see stuff and I need to kind of like make a video or whatever. If that ever happens, it's never going to be something political, you know. I've actually got another channel that I need to update more on that's got political stuff, but I realize this is mainly not Fortnite related, but it kind of is due to the fact that there's children that play this game. So I just want to reach out to people and say that, you know, if you are a child that's getting abused, or if you know of a child that's being abused, take a stand, do something. Do something before it becomes too late and those children end up dead. The child or children, or, you know. Because far too many times, these, I'm not saying it's every case, but far too many times, these cases of children being abused, excuse me, I don't want to take a drink. But, okay. But in a lot of these cases of, children being abused, and I'm not saying every time, but a lot of times it goes, gets neglected, or maybe, people are short, agencies are short-staffed, or maybe, in the case of the Hart family, where when someone reports something, the family moves and ups and moves, and then making it harder to trace these people. But like I said, these are children we're talking about. No child should have to go through abuse ever. And I'm not talking about disciplining your kid. I mean, and that's not the subject I'm going to get into on here, but I'm talking about, obviously there's cases of people, just so-called disciplining the kids that is actually abuse. But I'm talking about, beyond that. But like I said, if you are a child and you're getting abused, or if you know of a child that's getting abused, take a stand and fight for them. Let someone know. Because some of these children can't fight for themselves. And by the time some of them gets help, it may be too late. Like I said, Fortnite is, and I've seen it a lot of times said where Fortnite's a kid's game. Yeah, there's kids that play on here. That is why I'm, like I said, this video is, isn't specifically Fortnite related, but it's children related. But yeah, if you know anybody that needs help, get them the help. And don't just report it once and expect it to be taken care of, because that won't happen. Report it as many times as you can, to as many people as you can. If one person or one agency doesn't believe you, go to the next one. But you know, and this may be kind of a cliche, but the children are our future. You know, children deserve to have a future without, you know, having to worry about being abused or in any type of way. And like I said, there's many forms of child abuse, and I'm not gonna get into all of them. And some of them I may not even be able to mention on here, but yeah, we need to put a stamp on child abuse. Like I said, I apologize for the dreariness or seriousness of this video. Like I said, every now and then, you know, I see something where I have to make a video on it, make a comment on it, you know. Apparently, today just happened to be one of those days. I mean, I don't really like to get serious on this channel. I mean, you know, I'm sitting here playing Fortnite for fun. I mean, I'm trying to, and hopefully trying to appeal to people like me who are visually impaired. You know, I'm not the best Fortnite player in the world. I'm not the worst, but and I may, you know, and the video that I intended for today, I may still make somewhere down the road, maybe. I don't know. This is just one of those instances, I really have no idea which word I want to use. But this is one of those times where there's something I see or something I feel that's important that, you know, that kind of overrides my plan for a video for the day or whatever. But like I said, if you are, I mean, and this, you know, this is just not about, this doesn't go to children either. I mean, but this is mainly what it's about. But if you are, whether you're an adult or a child, if you are abused in any type of way, or if you know someone who is abused, especially children, fight for them. Get them help right away. Report the abuse. Because like I said, most children aren't really able to fight for themselves. And sometimes, you know, the child may say something, sometimes adults don't believe them. We need to believe the children. We need to believe that these things are happening. And now I think I'm going to end the series. Let's be honest with you. I got myself a little depressed talking about this too, but like I said, it's just one of those videos where, you know, I saw something, I had to make a comment on it, so. But please stay tuned, because we'll have normal video output later. Like I said, this, you know, this is supposed to be a video for yesterday. Well, the video I made today was supposed to be for yesterday. And the video I was intending to make is completely different than this one that I'm currently making now. But I thank you for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. And I apologize for such a dreary subject.